Hello, everybody. Well, I'm going to do a quick car quiz answer session today. It's Thursday, and I totally lost track of time. Having fun with my mom and dad and all that fun stuff. There's my dog right there. There's my wife. My dog and wife. It's kind of cool. I'll be there in a second. I'm busy. Anyway, so here's your car quiz, kids. The Hemi. Late 1800s, early 1900s, 1902-ish is when it went in production from the Welch Motor Car Company, the two brothers. I think Alan, I can't remember the other guy's name. Clear all the way up till 1910 when Chevrolet bought Welch, which was great, and then they canceled the Hemi. When the Welch Hemi was only I think it was like 20 horse, and it was a little two-cylinder, and it was kind of fun, a little cool little car. But that head design, believe it or not, is in many radial. It's used in lots of stuff. It's in radial aircraft engines. If you look at those are all hemispherical head. What I mean by Hemi is so the chamber is a hemisphere, half of a sphere. And so the piston comes up, there's the chamber, you got a valve, and then the correct way to do it is a plug in the center of the dome, basically, or the center of the sphere. And then you get your flame front, so when it ignites the fuel, it spreads evenly down and around and makes the explosion and burns everything up. So a domed piston in there matching the dome, you hit it and you get a good explosion. That's how you increase your compression, is by taking away the space in the chamber. You increase your compression because you're taking entire cylinder's volume and you're squishing it up in this, like the lamp in Aladdin. Cosmic phenomenal powers, itty bitty living space. You know what I mean? That's what you got going on. So then you ignite that, boom. Perfect design. It's fully symmetrical. There's no sharp edges. You don't get any weird turbulence. It just forces. And that's why it's a great cylinder head design, or chamber design, basically. It's really good. A lot of Harley Davidsons were designed that way after they went from the flat head with the side valves to overhead valve style. Most of those are hemispherical, like knuckles and pans and I think knuckles, pans, shovels. The only problem with those are they put the spark plug on the side. So you got the valves and they put the plug on the side. So your flame front starts on the side and doesn't burn clearly across. And they have a dome piston. So you're just starting over here and you're not clearly making it across. So they did what's called dual plugging. They'll put a plug here and a plug here, and they get to ignite both sides. And it's a quick way to make your iron head, Sportster, your shovel head, your pan head, stuff like that run quicker. They've had all sorts of designs. Anyway, that's what came from. In 1951, good old Mopar started it in the DeSoto. I think the DeSoto Hemi was first, and was a Chrysler Hemi first? Anyway, 51 is when Mopar developed it or made it better, basically. Chevrolet did try it again in the 60s, late 60s, with the 302, ironically enough, for Trans Am racing. They had a cylinder head, and the engine had a cross ram. It was in the Camaro. They're super rare. They said they only made like 390 horsepower or something like that, but they lied. They fully lied. Those things were, well over 500, 560. I've heard reports, but the RPM range, because they also had the underdrive. They also had underdrive pulleys factory on that motor, because that thing would spin to reportedly 9,500. I don't know if that's true or not. I never saw one. I don't know. But they're rare as hen's teeth, and they're super cool, and that kind of stuff is fun for me to play with for technology-wise. Pontiac also had one. Pontiac in the, I think, 60s got together with Mopar, and they were trying to co-develop something, a Hemi, and then I think Oldsmobile had one. Ford has one for sure, that Boss 429. That's a Hemi design-ish. But my other favorite Hemi is made by Toyota. That's right, kids. Toyota made one. In 1970, 69 and 70, they had a 2TC is what the motor's called. And it's the predecessor of the 22 or the 20R, the 22R or RE, all that stuff. The 2TC. And the valve cover looks just like a 426 Hemi valve cover. Center plugs, all that kind of cool stuff. Really neat looking. But my very favorite Hemi is Toyota made a V8. Basically, 2TC heads on a V8 block, and most of those are in Japan, and they were in limos and stuff like that for big fancy dignitaries and all that kind of stuff. There was a guy in the 80s, early 90s, that made a T-bucket at some point. I think it was like John Deere Green. I'll have to look it up. But that thing used the Toyota motor. Pretty cool. And I think they used Toyota motor, a little Toyota 5-speed, Toyota rear end. And it was just a 23 or whatever Ford T-bucket. It's pretty cool. I think he ran like a single 4-barrel Holly. I think those had I forget what carburetor they had. A Weber from Toyota. I don't remember. Because it was before they were injected. I think the later ones are injected. Anyway, neither here nor there, but that's it. That's for the Hemi. Pretty cool. Was the Hemi design, was Welch the first ones to actually invent it? I don't know that for a fact. They were the ones credited for putting it in production first. Should Chevrolet have stayed with it? Probably. But anyway, there you go. Hemi. Half of a sphere, hemisphere, dome, or whatever. Pretty cool. Your new car quiz, kids, has something to do with... I don't know how to put this. Well, it should be easy. It should be easy for you guys. Lost my train of thought for a second. Squirrel, I saw a squirrel. Actually, it was my dog. I don't know where she went, though. She's gone. I gotta think about this for a second. Who? Car quiz. Oh, how about this? What's the difference between leading and trailing in a drum brake system? Describe that a little bit. I mean, we need to know about that. I also have something else I'm going to do this week. I'm going to do a little experiment video. I'm trying to figure out how I want to set it up. I'm also going to do those carburetors. I ordered gaskets for those. I have the strip kits over there. You can see them in a box sitting right there on the toolbox. Barely see it. I ordered gasket kits for this because, you know, if I didn't order them and I took them apart, I'm definitely going to break the top gasket. If I have gaskets here and I take them apart, I probably won't. But better be safe than sorry. That's where it's at. 4-speed. Oh, there's a lava lamp over there I haven't turned on. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to do the Carters. My drive shaft should be here. I need to call Southwest Speed. Need to call Toby and see if it's okay if I actually mention it in a video. Like I kind of just did, but I want to put well, we're going to do like a comparison. We're going to drive the car first the way it is. I don't know if I'll be able to show the slight vibration if I can figure it out. Maybe show the tach. The car doesn't shake, so it's hard to show it, but I'm going to be like, oh, here's the vibration coming in and going out, and this is what it feels like. And then we'll swap the drive shaft and see what happens then. Probably do something similar, I'm guessing, with the carburetors. Take it out and drive it, see if there's a stumble, all that kind of stuff, and then see how it feels. Little comparison. My science experiment's not really a science experiment. I'm going to display, show... a lot of us in our hot rods, I mean, we all have batteries, we all have charging systems, and there's a lot of misinformation or misunderstanding. Electrical can be kind of taboo, but the charging system shouldn't be. And so I'm going to explain it in an easy way to understand with props and things like that, how it all works. And so you guys can, for your own vehicles, figure out based on the symptoms or whatever that we're going to discuss, or I'm going to discuss with you guys what you should do for your own charging system to make it bulletproof. Does that sound like fun? I think it sounds like fun. I mean, and if you're not, even if it's not a hot rod, you guys are putting in a crazy stereo, something like that, you need to be prepared and understand why you're doing what you're doing and what you need to do to keep it so your car stays reliable. And I'm pretty happy to hear some of you guys are out there driving your cars in all kinds of conditions. Get them out more. Way more. Drive them a lot more. Because you got to find out what normal is. Normal. I'm not normal. This car's not... Well, cars are normal. Anyway, that's it. See you guys later. Aloha. Happy Thursday. I'm going to put this up right now. Bye. Oh, look at that blower.